thank you so much for joining me for this full-length reformer jumpboard class. We are going to be getting ready for winter sports with this class. For me, that means skiing. It can mean lots of things to different people, but my winter sports are a little bit more intense than my summer sports, so I like to prepare for them. I have done a couple things to get ready for class. First of all, I put my jumpboard on. We're going to leave it on all of class. I have one red or one blue spring on my machine. So one blue would be one light, one red would be one medium. Nothing lighter than the blue spring. You can put a yellow spring on my machine, but I don't use it. So I guess that for some people, the blue could be considered a light plus. I have gone ahead and I've removed everything in the well of my reformer because we're going to be standing back there. And I'm going to take my handles and place them off to the sides so it's less for me to trip on. So, also I have my box and a sticky mat if you would like. Let's go ahead and begin by standing. To get into the well, we're going to be very careful. We're going to place both hands on our shoulder blocks to begin, and then we're going to step over into the well. We're going to find a position where we're going to be resting on the meaty part of our hands. We're not going to be breaking the wrist completely. So I'm going to press forward, keeping a straight wrist as much as possible. I want my hips stacked directly over my heels. My heels are underneath my sits bones at this point, but in a moment we're going to squeeze our legs together. My shoulders are right over my wrists. Without moving the machine, we're going to find a nice neutral spine, so I'm swaying out a little bit, right? So think of tucking your tail slightly, drawing your ribs together, drawing your abs up and in. Think of rotating the inner aspect of your elbow towards your jump board so you can slide your shoulder blades down your back. You want a nice straight line from the tip top of your head out through your tailbone. And now we're going to squeeze our glutes so they don't stick out behind us to keep our heels and our hips aligned. Tuck our tail, drop our head. Don't move the carriage. Come back to neutral. Lift your tail, lift your head. Don't stick your booty out behind you. And neutral. Now drop your head, drop your tail. The shoulders over the wrists are not as important at this point. We are working very hard with our glutes to keep our hips over our heels though. And back to neutral. It takes a lot of engagement through the legs. One more. And then we're going to add on. If you don't want to add on, please continue to do this version of the exercise. Now, come back to neutral. Without manhandling the machine, we're going to squeeze under our lats. Our inner aspects of our elbow are still going to be facing, or under our arm, are still going to be facing the jump. We're going to tuck our tail, drop our head, and give a slight tug. Don't press your hips back here to move the machine, right? You want to maintain this rib to hip connection. Squeeze under the arms. Come back to neutral. Lift your head, lift your tail. Now come back to neutral. Squeeze your glutes. Pull with your underarms and draw your ribs to your hips. Draw your belly button up to your spine. Back to neutral. Lift your tail, lift your head. One more, guys. Come back to neutral. Tuck your tail, tuck your head. Pull with your lats. Not with your booty weight, not with your body weight, but pressing back. And now lift your tail, lift your head one more time. Now, come back to neutral. Toe ball, heel your feet in towards each other. Without moving your hips, we're going to keep them square for this first part of the exercise. We're going to reach our foot back, and we're going to take a look at our hips. I have my foot resting on the back frame of my reformer. I have my weight equally through my foot, so behind the big toe, behind the baby toe, and through my heel. And now, I'm going to make sure I'm in a neutral spine and lower and lift my leg. It's a small movement coming from the glutes and hamstrings. I'm tapping my frame every time. Now, if you have a mirror, go ahead and take a look to make sure that you're not splaying your hips, because if you are, you'll be able to see your whole booty, right? You only want to see the side. Now, stay up. Now, go out. Tap the outside of your frame. Now, squeeze your inner thigh across your other leg. You most likely will not be able to tap the upright, and that's fine. See if you can tap the outright by going out and tap it across. Your leg just doesn't want to bend like that because of that pesky hip socket, right? Keep going. Out and across. Out. Squeeze under the arms so that you can really Pull the shoulders away from the ears, tuck the tail slightly, draw the abs up and in, and wrap your ribs still. Good, 2 more. I'm really feeling in my standing leg. Come to center. We're going to do 10 circles in each direction. Try to make them the width or about so of your uprights. That way it'll be a different feeling, right? And now reverse. But don't wag your tail to do it. Go ahead and take a look in the mirror and make sure that you're not splaying your hips just yet. Good. Now flex your foot. Bring your arm in front of you by your ear. Bring your leg into a tabletop position until you're knee to knee, thigh to thigh, and press back through your heel. And draw it in. Again, thigh to thigh, knee to knee, press back to the arabesque through the heel. You should really feel the engagement in your leg. Don't sway out in your low back. And now we're going to add an articulation. So we're going to draw our knee in past that position, draw our elbow in towards our standing thigh, and drop our head as if we're in an angry cat, right? And now we're going to straighten back out to neutral in a bird dog position, and then pull it in, angry cat. Straighten it out. Almost done. Oh, my hips splayed just a little bit, right? Not yet. Now, place your forearm on your carriage, and I like to hold on to my front shoulder block. We're going to open our hips or splay them to the side and use our outer glutes to lift our leg up in an arabesque. Really squeeze under the arm here of your forearm that's on the carriage and pulse up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Abs up and in, wrap your ribs. Stay up at the top and now go forward and back to the original position. Forward an inch, back to the original position. It's a standing leg exercise here for me. I really feel it in those outer glutes. And now 10 small circles up, up, up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carefully draw your leg in. Come up to standing. You guessed it, what we do on one side, we do on the other. So we're going to do that complete series with the bird dog and everything on the other side as well. And then we're going to go and start some footwork on the jump board. So let's find a position with our hands again. Squeezing our legs together. Whew, that's quite the warm-up, right? Make sure you're not swaying out in your back. Bring that leg back. Rest it on the reformer front. Go ahead and take a look in the mirror and make sure that you're not splaying your hips. And now we're going to bring it up and tap 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're not losing that slight little tuck. The leg won't move as much as maybe you think it should. Your upper body is lifted up a little higher. 10, stay up. Tap the upright and squeeze it across your body an inch. And tap and squeeze. Go ahead and take a look and make sure you're not splaying out on your hip. It's always easier to do it on the second side. Draw your abs up and in. Here's 9, 10, come back to center, and now circles. 1, a little bit bigger than usual, right? 5, 6, maybe not for you. They're bigger than I usually teach for bird dog. And reverse. 1, 2, 3. Take a look and make sure you're splaying your hips. 8, 9, 10. Flex your foot, extend your left arm. Draw your arabesque leg in until you're knee to knee, thigh to thigh. Press through your heel to press it back to arabesque. And draw it in and press. Squeeze under the left arm so you're not drawing your shoulder blade up to your ear. 1 more. And now we're going to draw everything in. Draw that leg in past your thigh. Draw your left elbow in towards your left leg. Really drop your head, drop your tail. Come into a nice cat and extend it back out. Now come back into a cat, one-legged. And extend. And 3. Abs up and in. Here's 4. and 5. Good. Now, don't drop your leg, but place that left arm down on the carriage and hold on to that front shoulder block with your hand. Splay your hips. Use that glute, that outer glute, to lift the foot up. And now pulse up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now forward an inch and back. Crease of the hip flexor and extend. 3, 4. Whoa, my glutes. Draw your abs up and in. Wrap your ribs. 9, 10. And now circle up. Small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carefully draw that foot back in. Do not release the shoulder blocks. Step over with one foot, step over with the other. Before I forget, which I will, I'm going to repeg my handles. I'm going to come to sitting on the side of the machine. I'm going to take my right leg, this is the leg that I worked first. I'm going to bring it across in a figure 4 stretch. Above my knee, above my ankle, so I'm not getting anything on any joints. I'm going to take my hands, scooch up just a little bit because I'm a little too far back. Make sit bones right on the edge. Press in to the side of the frame. If this is good for me, I'm going to hinge forward just a little bit with a flat back. Don't round forward. I prefer the flat back figure 4 stretch because I feel like it goes deeper. Less back, more straight hip. Sit up tall, release that leg. Take your right leg across in the same position. Above the knee, above the ankle. Sit up tall. Whoa, this side's way tighter. Press into the frame. Hinge forward an inch. Good job, guys. Okay, go ahead and release your foot. We're gonna change our spring tension. I use 3 to 4 springs on my reformer for footwork. On my machine, that is 3 greens and 1 red. That translates to 3 heavies, 1 medium. I do not use half springs on my machine, but if you do on your machine, please feel free to. We're going to come down onto our backs. The first thing we're going to do is find a nice parallel position for our footwork. We will be jumping with our legs squeezed together, so let's go ahead and squeeze our legs together for the footwork. We're going to press out and put the weight into our heels. We should be able to wiggle our toes. So we feel a real engagement and a real wrap and a real nice neutral spine here, and come back in. And press it out. The lower your heels are on the jump board, the more likely they are to pop off. No problem. Find your heels back on the jump board right away, as soon as you can, and release them at the last possible second. Here's 4. And 5, and now we're going to add on. If you don't want to, please feel free to do this exercise. When we do jump board, if you don't want to jump, please feel free to do either of these 2 exercises instead. Press out, and now rise up to the balls of your feet. Press down through your heels, come back in. If you would like, adjust your feet. I want my toes to be lower for this. I want to stand straight up, and then rise up to my toes, drop my heels, and come back in. I feel a strong glute engagement here. Let's do 2 more, and then we're going to change our foot position. Same series of movements, though. 1 more. Nice abs up and in. Nice wrapping of the ribs. Nice open collarbone. Nice flat wide shoulder blades. Now take your feet and turn it out to Pilates V. I'm going to keep my feet in the same position. My heels are pretty high, but I'm going to press them down immediately and come back in. And 2. Now that we know the series, we can really speed it up just a little bit. We want to make sure that everything's staying stable. Here's 5. Now we're going to raise our heels. So we press out on 1, raise up on 2, lower on 3, bend our knees 4. Press on 1, raise on 2, lower on 3, and on 4. Again, this is a super acceptable exercise as a modification for jumping. These are all the foot positions that you'll hit when you jump, right? When you land, your heels will touch, and then you'll bend in. Let's go wide to Pilates V. I like to go to the outer edges of my jump board, but make sure your toes are still on. That's a good rule for jump board. Always make sure your whole foot's on the jump board. Press out on one. Go ahead and press through the heels and come back in. And here's two. This is the first variation for jump board. 3 and 4 and 5. And now we'll add on for the second variation of jump board. Press out on one, and then you'll jump off. And then your heels will touch, and then you'll bend to come in. You want to make sure that you're articulating through your foot on jumping. If not, you could really hurt yourself, right? We don't want that. One more. Good. Let's go ahead and come up to sitting. We're going to move over to single leg footwork. I use 2 heavy springs for my single leg footwork. On my machine, that's 2 green. I also recommend 1 medium, 1 heavy. On my machine, that's 1 red, 1 green. So let's go ahead and come back down. I'm going to place my feet on the footboard. I'm going to raise my left leg up to tabletop. Oop, I had it in real tight. To tabletop, right? It's floating just over the footboard for me, right? And I'm going to press out and in for 5 through the heel. Good. There's 3. Try to really think of finding a nice neutral spine while you're doing this exercise, because that's what we want to maintain during jumping. Now extend your leg over the jump board and press it up to the ceiling like a post, coming straight up and down, and then lower it back over the jump board as you come in. And press it up and lower it. 3. Don't hike at your hip when you do it, just crease at the hip flexor. And now stay there, rise up to the ball of your foot and lower your heel to tap. And lift and tap. 3, 4, 5. Lift it up and stay there. And now we'll do circles. Inhale across the body and exhale back to the top. We're going to do 5 in each direction. Pressing in through the jump board on this exercise gives you more stability in the core of your body than just doing it on the mat, because you sort of have it leveraged against another object. Now reverse. Inhale away and exhale it back up. So it's a lot easier to keep a nice flat sacrum here, which is really what we're looking for. We don't want to arch our back when we're jumping. Now, lower your heel, bend your leg, float the foot over the foot bar. We're going to switch legs. Tabletop that leg and press out for 5, 4. Don't hike the hip. 3. Here's 2. Good job, guys. Here's 1. Extend the leg over the jump board and lift and lower. 1. Here's 2. 3. Here's 4. And 5. Stay up at the top. Now lower and lift the heel and tap 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And now 5 circles in each direction, coming across the body first. Really press in through that leg and squeeze that glute for 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And now reverse for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lower the heel, bend the leg in, bring the leg over the jump board. Scoot yourself away from the shoulder block slightly. Bring your legs up to tabletop or just a little above so they're not pressing into the jump board. Float your fingers up to the ceiling, palms facing away from you. Reaching up out of your sternum 12 rep. Inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching down towards the jump board. And exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. We only have 1 more in tabletop, and then we're going to add on to extend our legs. So 1 more in tabletop. And lower. Leave a nice space under your chin so you're not crunching your chin to your chest. Lift. Extend your legs. Pull it back in. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Raise your hands and press it out. I like to press mine out, turn to a Pilates V. Then I come back to parallel, pull my legs back into tabletop, and lower. One more. Turn it out, stay there. We're in for our hundreds now. Begin pumping. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach your fingertips out long, like C-3PO hands or blades. Try to float your hands so that they're pulsing above your hips. Inhale. And a long, continuous exhale. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop your belly to your spine, your belly button to your spine. Wrap your wrists together. Draw the tips of your ribs towards your hips. Don't tuck your tail. Squeeze your legs. Squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze your glutes. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. And don't stop breathing. One more set. Feet up to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders for a moment. Shake out your head. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to inhale, exhale to curl, reaching long towards the jump board, squeezing under our arms. My legs are in parallel first. I'm going to flex my feet lower for 1, 2, 3. Point my feet, lift 1, 2, 3, and flex lower 1, 2, 3, and point, lift 1, 2, 3, and flex. And point, and flex, and point. Turn out to Pilates feet, and flex. And point if you need. Rest your head in your hands. We have 2 more. 1 more. Draw your knees into your chest. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. We're all warmed up for jumping. Roll onto your side. Come up to sitting up tall. We're going to change our springs. We're going to be using 1 medium spring for jumping. That's 1 red spring on my machine. Don't worry about jumping all the way out to the end of the machine. We're going to do 20 of each set. We have 4 sets, so that's 80 jumps. We're not pausing. We are going to jump parallel. We're going to jump Pilates V. We're going to jump wide Pilates V. And we're going to jump in and out. Pilates V narrow, Pilates V wide. Pilates V narrow, Pilates V wide. Again, that's parallel, Pilates V, wide V, and then narrow V, wide V, narrow V, wide V. We're going to go straight through. When we jump and do the series of 5 at the end, we will be stopping in between to reset. Okay? Come on to our backs. Squeeze our legs together. Make sure all your toes are on. While we jump, we're going to press through our heels, articulate through our toes, and come back through our heels. So jump. If you feel like you're landing flat-footed, go ahead and go back to the footwork exercises that we're doing. I have a nice neutral spine the whole time I'm jumping. If you feel like your feet are too low and you can't maintain your connection with your neutral spine, go ahead and lift your feet up. This is only the beginning, so don't hurt yourself yet. Here's 16. Wrap your abs, open it. Here's 20, turn out to Pilates feet in the air and continue jumping for 1, 2, 3. If you find that your carriage is moving, could be that your surface is slippy. My surface is slippy, so I might have to adjust partway through. Another reason is articulation. Good. Keep it going, keep breathing. One more, and now wide. Good, wide Pilates V jumps. It's easier to find that nice flat sacrum here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we'll count down for 10, 9. Really squeeze your inner thighs and glutes as you jump out. You should land in the same place that you jumped out from. And now we're going to alternate. So in to narrow, out to wide. That's 1. We're only going to 10. In to narrow, out to wide. That's 2. Into narrow, squeeze. Jump all the way out and separate. At the peak of your jump, you should Squeeze your legs together or separate them. Squeeze. Separate. I'm trying to count on my fingers as we're talking. And continue. Don't lose that neutral spine. One more. And back together. And come all the way in. Give your knees a hug. Rock gently from side to side. Good job, guys. Let's go ahead and come up to sitting real fast. We're gonna make sure that we just have the one red spring on or the one medium spring. We're gonna put our long box on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my headrest. I like to when I have the long box on. The first thing that we're gonna do is a swan, but only come up halfway because the jump board's much higher than our footboard is, right? And our arms are already going to float up much higher than they normally would. So if you have shoulder problems, a variation is to come onto your box, come right here, and press up and lower. So you're still getting a back extension. Don't move your carriage, but it won't be as difficult on your shoulders. So I'm going to place one hand on my box first, honestly, and one hand on my other box on the other side. And then I'm going to press up just a little bit. And then I'm going to leave my sternum and 12th rib at the front of my box. And I'm going to press out and pull back in for about 10. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to extend my legs. Sorry, I was thinking about the next exercise. If this is bothering your shoulders, please go ahead and do the other exercise towards your upright where you do this one with your hands on the frame. Drop your elbows down so that you're not winging out. Now stay out. Now press down into the jump board as you lift up to show off the sternum area, a necklace, and lower it back down. And lift it back up. Abs open and wrap your ribs. Shoulders down your back. And lower. If you're feeling this in your low back, try to come up a little less and draw your belly to your spine a little bit more. One more. We have some more back extension work in just a minute. And lower it down. Now come in carefully and lift yourself up just a little bit. Nothing too major while you step off to the side. So you don't want to hurt anything, right? It is a little bit of a weirder exercise. We're going to come down onto our stomachs with our sternum 12th rib, cross rib area at the front of the box for a variation of pulling straps. It's just a little back extension work, a little bit more than you'd receive on pulling straps, right? So my legs are up in a tabletop position or frog position here. I don't want my knees any wider than my box, but I do want to extend them slightly to encourage engagement in between my inner thighs and my hamstrings and my glutes. So I'm going to extend them away from me slightly, drawing my abs up and in so I'm not swaying out my low back together, right? I'm not resting them on the jump board, I'm floating them above. I'm going to take my handles, place them on my wrist like bracelet, reach my arms in front of me, place my hands on the wood, slide it down to the side. I'm in a nice neutral spine here. I'm going to pull back, reaching towards the jump board, and if I so choose, I can do a slight chest lift, and I'm going to look in at the inner side of the back of my reformer frame. Float it back down to neutral, and I'm going to pull back and lift. I'm drawing my abs up and in, drawing my belly button to my spine, wrapping my ribs, squeezing under my arms, having a nice long neck. Now, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to bend my elbow and tricep press back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, good, 6, don't let your machine bounce, otherwise you're using too much momentum. 8, stay back, but bring your spine down to neutral. Now beat your heels for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pulse your feet out from your glutes for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press back even harder and beat again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Press back for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands forward. Release your legs for a second and take a break. The work in the diamond position with the legs makes the pulling straps even harder. All right, guys, we're gonna reset. Normally we don't take a break in between pulling straps, but with the leg work, it does make it more difficult. I'm going to take my loops and put them on my thumb like a thumb ring, and then I'm gonna hook my thumb around it, tucking it underneath my hand so I don't lose my strap. I'm going to pull my straps down so they're at shoulder height, and then I'm going to pull back as I do the optional chest lift, looking in at where the back inside my reformer frame is. I'm going to leave my palms down, so I really encourage the underarm connection, and come back out. I do understand that you're not going to be able to move as far with your palms down, but we're going to flip them for the pulses. Don't forget to breathe here. Here's 6. Here's 7. Now 8. Now flip your palms and pulse in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down to neutral and beat your heels for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse up for 8, 7, 3, 2, 1. Beat your heels for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your back down. Go ahead and rest over your box. Carefully step off to the side and peg your straps. We are going to do this series of 5 exercises, 1 through 3, on top of the box. If you are uncomfortable, please feel free to do them on the floor with one red spring on. If you're using momentum, your carriage will move and tattle on you. So, carefully come to sitting on the side, straddle your machine, place your feet on top of your jump board, but don't pull your, oh, I'm sorry. Let's do it this way, actually. I did that completely wrong. We're gonna place our feet in the headrest. We're gonna scooch to the front edge of our box, and then we're gonna tuck our tail and roll back. That did not seem right, and it was not. Bring your feet up to tabletop, adjust your body as necessary. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Legs in tabletop. Now, I'm gonna extend my left leg and reach my left hand into the inside of my right knee and my right hand to my right ankle. I'm not holding on. Inhale through center and exhale to switch. My right hand will come to the inside of my right knee. My left hand will come to the outside of my left ankle. Switch. And inhale through center, exhale to switch. At no point am I holding on here. Here's 6. Here's 7. Here's 8. Gently hold on behind your knees. Rock up to sitting. Don't fall over the front into the wall. All right, we're going into the double leg stretch, and then we're going to do scissors. So scooch back to the front. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, roll back. Bring your legs to tabletop. Scooch it down. Reach for your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms, extend your legs. Don't lose your curl up. Bring your arms around to a T, and exhale to pull it in. Now, as I press out on the inhale, I come through parallel to Pilates V again. Bring it out to a T, bring it back to parallel, and pull it back in. That way, I'm really working the rotators here, too. Here's 4. Next, we'll do scissors. 5. 6. Draw your ribs to your hips. Nice space under your chin. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. Don't lose your curl up. Curl up even deeper. Now, if you can, extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. We're going to pull our right leg switch, pull, or left leg, and switch. We're not gonna sit up on this one. You can hold on behind your thigh. You can hold on right below your knee, high on your calf. You can hold on at your ankle. If you have the flexibility, you can reach up for your foot. But don't bend your knees. One more. Bend your knees in. Inhale, exhale. Curl up. Don't fall over the front, right? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and start some arm and leg work here. You can change the spring over to one blue for the arm work, but you will need to change it back to one blue, or one red, or one blue, one light. You'll need to change it back to one red, one medium for the quadruped work. I'm going to scooch closer to my shoulder blocks for this series of exercise. I'm going to dangle my feet, but don't let it sway out your low back. Draw your abs up and in, like we worked on at the beginning of class in that series in the well. Reach down with your right hand, left hand, and grab the handle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to a round arm position, a tree position, and we're gonna pull. Try not to shift our body weight. Don't allow the handle to pull you. Squeeze with under your arm. If you find this is too heavy, switch to a blue. Or if you have shoulder issues, switch to a blue. One more. Abs up and in, wrap your ribs. If you have a mirror nearby, go ahead and make sure that your shoulders are stacked right over your hips. Take your right hand across your body. Hold on to the handle. Pull it in slightly so you don't have any slack in your rope. I like to keep it right in front of my hip. We're going to do unsheath the sword, so we're going to come through with our arm bent, and we're going to extend our arm. You can look up at it and bend the arm and come back across. The weight really took me over that time, so I'm going to make sure not to let it this time. Really try to keep the movement in my arm position and down the side of my body on this one. We're going to 8. Here's 4. Really draw your abs up and in. Wrap your ribs. Follow the strap with your hand if you'd like a little bit more rotational work. Make sure you're coming through all the arm positions. Bent arm, straight arm, bent arm, across the body. Final one. Now, take the handle back in your left hand, squeeze the bicep into your rib, and bring your hand so it's in front of your shoulder. Take your right hand on your right hip, and now shave the face. The weights could be a little heavy. Only go as high as you can without letting your shoulder take over or bending into it, right? We want to maintain a completely neutral spine here. Here's 5. Here's 6. Woo! 7. And 8. Good. Now, place your hand down by your side. We're going to do a little side bending with this shave the face. We're going to go up as high as we can. Then side bend, bringing our elbow into our hip, squeezing under our arm, and reaching up for the wall and the ceiling beam. Bend your arm in and sit back up tall. The strap will help pull you back up. You don't really need to use your obliques, but try to work on engaging your obliques, right? So extend your arm up for shave the face, side bend, and press. Bring it back in and sit up tall. Extend your arms and bend. We want to make sure that we're really extending the arm before we bend, so that we're not just using our body weight for the movement, right? So extend first, and then reach. And here's 7. And side bend is if you're in between two, lift your arm up first and then side bend. Side bend is if you're in between 2 panes of glass. So you're getting true side bend. If you're using a handle like I am, we're going to go ahead and change it out for a foot strap. If you're uncomfortable doing these exercises on the box, please feel free to remove the box and do it just on the carriage. But we're going to place our hands on the front two corners of the box and come into a quadruped position. In order to do this, I have to press my machine out slightly from where it is, but I'm keeping my foot flexed. I'm going to keep my foot that I'm not moving flexed the whole time so that I don't compromise my toes. I'm going to walk my right knee over and bring my left knee to the middle of the box. I'm going to place my right foot on the carriage, hold on to the right foot strap with my right hand, place the strap on my knee, and bring my knee to meet the other one. I'm going to flex both my feet, and I'm going to press my foot back into like a donkey kick almost, a parallel donkey kick. The reason I walked my left knee towards the middle was so that I would get less rope rubbing than I would normally. Again, take a look at the mirror. Make sure you're not splaying your hip too much. It'll splay slightly because you have put more weight in the other leg and you're moving that opposite leg and sliding it against the box. And now extend your legs straight back. And now lower and lift. 1. This should be a lot like the exercise at the beginning of class, but we've lifted it up even higher and put it under weight. Now stay up at the top. Now go out an inch and back to right behind your body. Don't go across. Tuck your tail slightly. Try to really square your hips. Press energy through those toes. It really gets my hamstrings here. And now, 10 small circles in each direction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex that standing foot. Bring the leg back in. Stand on the carriage. Take the foot out and carefully come in to the bumper. Sliding your body forward so you don't hurt your foot. We're going to place both feet on either side of our box and swing our right leg around for arms and legs on the opposite side. I'm going to find the strap with my right hand. Whew. I'm going to come to the hugger tree position, dangle my legs off the side, find a mirror. If I have one, make sure that my shoulders are stacked over my hips, and I'm going to hug a tree. Try not to shift in my body. This is actually my side with my stronger oblique, so it doesn't look as silly when I do it on this side with my body shaking all about. Draw your ribs together and your belly button up and in as you draw your fingers together. One more. And then we're going to unsheath the sword. Lower your right arm. Bring your left arm across. Pull that hand in front of your hip. Place your right hand on your right hip. Draw your arm out to a bent elbow and extend your arm long. Bend your elbow. Bring it back across your body. Add your head if you like. Look down at your hand. Draw it up to a bent elbow and extend and bend and across. Again, the option's always there to change to a blue. Try to leave it equal on both sides though. Halfway there on this exercise. Six. Don't forget to keep breathing. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's so much harder on one side than on the other side, right? I'm right-handed, my right side's always stronger. Okay, we're gonna go for shave the face. Draw the bicep into your ribs. Place your hand like a blade directly in front of your right shoulder. Left hand, left hip, shave the face. Again, on this side, my right side is much stronger, so I can extend further on this side than I was able to on my left side. Find whatever breath pattern works for you, right? Place your hand down. Now, bring it up first, and then side bend and a reach. And as you bend your arm back in, you can sit up all at the same time. But extend your arm first, and then side bend reach. Don't sink. You want to lift up both sides of your body. Bend your elbow in and sit up tall. Extend your arm and reach. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Final 2, making your best 2, guys. So extend your arm first, and then reach up, pressing energy through the strap, and come back. One more, reach up, and then side bend. Whoop, don't sink, and come back. Good. We're going to straddle the machine. I'm going to change over my handle for my foot strap. Again, this is where it gets a little weird. I have my carriage in all the way. If your carriage is out further, then you might not have this problem. It depends on your height, honestly. So I'm gonna find my hands on the front corners of my box. Find a quadruped position. For myself personally, I have to press the carriage away a little bit, but my feet are flat against the jump board. Keep your foot flexed on your right side the whole time. That way, if you lose control or you lose the strap, when you go into the jump board, you don't hurt your toes. Take your left leg, walk it towards the edge. Take your right leg, walk it towards the middle. Take your left leg, place it on the carriage. And then take the foot strap and place it around your foot. Hook it on your foot and bring your foot up. Now, make your left leg wide. Again, that'll splay your hips slightly, but not too much, hopefully. Something I forgot to mention. Have the inner aspects of your elbow facing towards the upright to keep your shoulders down your back. Don't sway out in your low back. Think of tucking your tail slightly and drawing your abs up and in. And now, donkey kick in a 90-degree position, and then lower in the 90-degree tabletop position. And here's 2. And 3. Here's 4. 5. Take a look in the mirror. Make sure you're not swaying. 2 more. Keep that foot flexed on the right side and lower. And now extend your foot long and lower and lift. Take a look and make sure you're not swaying and that you have your hips squared. 4. Don't allow your hip flexor to crease more or to extend more in this exercise. You want to keep it stable. And 8. Now away an inch and back to the original position. And away an inch and back to the original position. Again, make sure that you're not swaying. Your abs are up and in. And that your hips are square. Here's 5, 6, 7. Press energy out of your toes. 10 small circles in each direction from the glutes. Abs up and in. And reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw your knee in to the carriage. Flex that right foot before you move. Place that left leg down on the carriage. Take that strap. Replace that hand on the box. So you have both hands on the box. And then step off carefully to the side with control. Remove your box. We are going to do the series of 5 wall jumping. So if you worry that the red is too heavy for you, go ahead and change it to blue. We will be doing some single leg jumping here. We're going to do single leg stretch, a double leg stretch, scissors, double leg lower lift, and elbow to knee variations. So we're going to come back down. If you'd like, go ahead and place your headrest up for this. We're going to bring our feet to parallel. The way that I like to get into single leg exercises, because otherwise the cues are crazy, the movements are crazy. I like to start with my right leg, so I'm bringing my left leg up. Now I'm going to bend my right leg in, and I'm going to jump out, and I'm going to switch midair. So, it'll be the same for scissors. I'll start with my left leg up, and when I jump, I switch my legs at the top of my jump. So that's 1 and 3. When we do the double leg stretch, when we jump out, we're going to bend our knees slightly. Just a little bend, because we want to maintain a neutral spine. That's 2. We'll stop in between each one to go over these. For the double leg lower lift, which is the fourth jump, we'll jump out, lift it, and lower it. Just a tiny lift and lower, right? Now, we scooch away from the shoulder blocks for skier, which is also the elbow to knee variation. And we'll jump out, and we'll twist our toes up towards the left or right, and then we'll reach over the opposite side. The hip will float up slightly, but not so wildly that our knees drop all the way, right? Just a little bit. The knees are pointing up towards the top corner of the jump board. You do not have to lift your head for that one, but you can if you would like to. Okay. We're only going to do 20 jumps for each of them total. That means if we do a single leg, it'll only be 10 on each side. I got 10 on each side. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin with our right knee and tabletop. Platform your arms down by your side. We're gonna, it'll be more of like a prancing situation for the single leg stretcher. So press out and switch. Here's 1, and switch. And 2. Here's 3. Make sure that you're neutral spine all the time. It's so nice to jump at the beginning, isn't it? Here's 5. And then when you get to the end, you're like, oh my God, I hate jumping. Here's 6. Keep your legs brushing against each other as you move. So you're really continuing that inner thigh work. Nice long neck. Final set. Jump out and jump back in on 2 feet. We're going to do the double leg stretch where we jump out, bend our knees just a little bit, and straighten them out and then jump back in. So we're going to jump out at the top of the jump, bend your knees a little bit, straighten them, and land with straight legs. So jump out and bend and straighten, and bend and straighten. Just a little bit. It's really hard to do this in a neutral spine. So it's a lot of ab work. Here's 7, and 8, and 9. Make sure you're articulating through your feet. Really squeeze your inner thighs. 14, 15, you guys are doing great. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and come back in. I know I mentioned it, I like skiing. I like to do a lot of jump board for skiing. So, like I said, I like to start my right leg. So, for scissors, I'm going to extend my left leg up. When I jump out in the first one, I'm going to switch my legs in the air. My right leg will be up, and that will begin the series. So, jump out and switch. And switch. That's 1. Switch. And switch, that's 2. And switch. And switch, that's 3. Make sure you're still articulating through your foot. 5. 6. Nice rib wrap, drawing your abs to your spine. 7. 8. Here's 9. And here's 10. Now we're going to do one more jump out, legs together, land on 2 feet. Woo! So when we do the next one, we're going to jump out with straight legs. And with straight legs, we're going to lower it up just a little bit, like 3 inches. Lower it back down, and then come back into the bumper. So jump out, lower lift, and in. And out, lower lift, and in. So we're going to jump out, lift, and lower, and in. Don't allow your back to pop off the mat when you do this. I find it helps to do lots of glute squeezing on this one. Here's 6. And 7. 8. Lots of rib to hip connection. You're not necessarily tucking, but you want to maintain that connection as if you're holding a toothpick between your rib and your hip. You don't want to let it go and you don't want to crush it. Good, here's 14, 15. Don't forget to articulate through your feet. Stretch energy out of your toes. Good. And 20. And come all the way in. Now we're going to do the elbow to knee variation. It's an oblique variation. Remember, if our toes come to the left, we reach up to the right. When our toes come to the right, we reach up to the left. Don't drop your knees down too low. You'll never make it back up in time, and there's a tendency to hurt yourself from here. Keep your knees in line with the upper corner of the jump board. So I'm going to reach to the right first, bring my toes to the left first. I'm going to reach my hands down, and I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to come in. My toes are up to the left, my arms are over to the right. I'm going to jump, my toes are to the right, my arms are to the left. Jump, and land. Jump, toes to the right, arms to the left. Keep going. You don't have to curl up here. You can still reach with your head, neck, and shoulders down. Everything from below the belly button is rotating on this one. So you do have a slight lift in your hip. Here's 6. Squeeze your inner thighs together the whole time so your legs don't separate. 8. Here's 9. And here's 10. One more. Now jump out and come back in through the center. That was really nice. Let's go ahead and come up to sitting. We're going to go ahead and drop our headrest because we have the option for short spine. I have one medium spring on already. I'm going to add one light spring on. So I have one medium, one light on my machine that is one red, one blue. I'm going to lie down. It's time for feet and straps. Yay! I'm going to press out. Bring one foot in, press the strap, place the strap on it, press into that strap, place the other strap on my foot. I'm going to come into frog. Now, as if I was jumping, I'm going to press down and try to leave my feet on the jump board and come back out. It's going to be more ab work. More control on the neutral spine. And press, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs together, and back. Good job, guys. 6. Squeeze your heels together. I find that in a lot of my classes now, I don't know why, but like a lot of the classes I take, there's not a lot of emphasis on the inner thigh anymore, which I think is a real oversight because it's so beneficial to work your inner thigh as you get older. So instead of extending all our legs all the way, we're going to come halfway out to a diamond position. We should feel a strong inner thigh connection at the very top where it meets with our body, and we should feel a lot of glute connection. Now from here, we're going to close our legs to parallel, close our feet to parallel, and squeeze with our inner thighs. And then we're going to rotate the femur in the hip socket to open the book and open our legs back out to turn out diamond position, and close it to a parallel hook position, and open to a diamond position. And here's 3, and open. 4, and open. 5, a lot of hip work. 6, a lot of body work to maintain that neutral spine. Really flatten and line your shoulder blades. Try to find a nice open collarbone and a soft sternum. On this next one, keep your feet out in the diamond position and lift them in the diamond position, and then squeeze the glutes and hamstrings to lower the diamond position. So we're keeping this diamond position the whole time. We're taking the weight of the legs out of it and really using our muscles to lower and lift our legs. Squeeze your heels. I'm sure other people do this, but my trainer, Katie Rowley, taught me the diamond feet and straps positions, and they're my favorite. I think that they're my favorite feet and straps positions ever. I know other people, they like different ones, but these are it for me. Like, just a muscle connection if you can find it, Sometimes you might have to straighten or bend your legs a little bit, lower lift your legs a little bit, tweak your turnout, but it's there. Here we go, guys, 2 more. Final one. Now, good, lower it. Now draw your knees into frog and extend them up to the ceiling. We're gonna do 5 circles in each direction. Open your legs to the side, squeeze them down around to the center, and float them up through the center. And open, and around, and lift. Don't tap your feet. If you're doing that, you're using momentum. We want to really slow it down. Shoot energy out of your toes. The more energy coming out of your toes, the less you're using momentum to swing your legs around. So go down through the center. Now we're reversing. Circle it up and around to the top and down and up and around to the top. 2, 3, 4. Here's 5. Good. All right. We're going to bend our right foot and take that foot out of the foot strap. Straighten your foot on the foot bar. And now, leave your foot straight up to the ceiling and bend that right foot. Keep your hips even. Don't let one hip hike. We're going to do the ballet stretches here. So lay that foot on there. Drop that hip down. Start breathing here. Good. Press it out to a flat foot. Bring your foot across your body, but leave that hip connected. And then bend that knee of the foot on the foot bar. You can place your hand on the strap. Don't float that hip off though. We really want to isolate that IT band coming down the side of the leg. I'm going to find my tape because that increases my stretch for me. Now, bring it back up, straighten the leg, turn both legs out. Bring your leg about the width of your reformer and bend that knee to bring it in. Bring your leg up to the outside. You can bring it out a little bit further, but don't let that hip fly off, right? We want to keep that hip grounded. And then when you brought it out as far as you can, use your strap to pull in on your leg gently as long as you can keep it straight. Good job, guys. Now straighten that leg. Bring your leg back up to the center. Extend it down. Take that leg off of the foot bar and come back to that figure 4 position that we talked about at the beginning of class. So you're not on any joints. You're not on your knee. You're not on your ankle bone. You're on your thigh. Then bend your knee. Keep your tailbone as heavy as possible. Nice flat sacrum. And allow the strap to pull your leg in. After we've done the ballet stretches, we're going to do short spine because I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys. Now press through the heel. Find the foot bar again. Take your foot out of the strap and come in. And now press back out. Place your right foot in. Bring it up to the ceiling. You're going to bend your left leg. Don't hike a hip. Again, for a short spine, please make sure that your headrest is all the way down. On every exhale, see if you can deepen the stretch just a little bit. Press your leg out. Bring that leg across the midline of the body. Bend that left leg. If you want to increase the stretch, go ahead and hold on. I like to hold on to the tape, like I said, but keep that right hip down. Try to breathe here. The IT band stretch is no fun. Press that left leg long. Bring that right leg out. I like to keep it in line with the reformer to begin, and then turn out both your feet, and then bend that knee. And then pull down on that leg. Keep that left hip grounded strongly. Feel a nice stretch. I leg's shaking a little. I really needed it. All right, now bring that leg back to the center and press it down. Now float that left leg off. Find that figure four stretch again, not on the knee, not on the ankle bone. Then bend that right knee in. Make sure that your hips aren't hiking. And allow the springs to stretch your hip for you. Your most important job is to keep your tail down all the way. The further down your tail is, the heavier your sacrum is, the more of a stretch you'll get. Even if you don't think it's as deep as it should be, keep that tail and sacrum down, and then you're gonna find that your stretch is even better. Good, extend that right leg, find that left strap, place it on the left foot. Scooch away from the shoulder blocks. Again, put your headrest down. Come into a tight little frog, platform your arms down by your side. Extend your legs to working level. Pike at the hip, tuck your tail, articulate up. Bend your knees into a high frog so that your knees are over your shoulder blocks. Now, leave your feet where they are in space. Don't allow them to go up or down where they are. And begin to tuck your tail and articulate down. Depending on how flexible you are, you might find that you have an increased hamstring stretch here. Now, hamstring curl to drop your tail and bring your heels to your glutes. Extend your feet to working level. Pike at the hips, tuck your tail, articulate up, up, up. Squeeze your glutes. Try to bring your toes over your nose. Bend your knees so they track over your shoulder blocks. Leave your feet where they are in space. And now begin to articulate down. It will lengthen your legs. My tail doesn't touch. And then hamstring curl, drop your tail, bring your heels to your glutes. I like the hamstring stretch there personally. Extend, pike, tuck your tail and lift. Bend your knees in. Really find the nice articulation here. We did not get as much articulation as maybe would be nice since it was more of a jump board class. You really have to maintain a nice neutral spine here. So we really want to make sure that we're getting a nice amount of articulation and spine massage right here. Bend it in, stretch it up. If you'd like a challenge, float your arms up. If you have never done this, please do not do it now. Go ahead and tuck your tail and lift. Press into the strap strongly. Now bend. Now tuck your tail and articulate down. If you've never done this, we don't want you to try it now because we don't want any strain on your neck, any strain on your cervical spine. Stretch out your right leg. Take your left strap off. Find the jump board. Bend your knee to come in. Take your right strap off. Come to the side. Press yourself up to sitting. Let's go ahead and take a nice inhale. A nice exhale. Whew. Thank you so much for joining me in my preparation for my winter sports season. I hope that you enjoyed class. If you'd like any modifications, please feel free to reach out to me, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you.